Hello, I'm Dave Abram.
And I'm Kristin Lagana. Welcome to Arundel County Week in Review. In this episode, we'll tell you all about an important deadline coming up for people on food stamps and preview the next Not My Child presentation. But first, making headlines this week, the County Council had a busy week approving several bills that are important to your pocketbook. With a unanimous vote, the Council approved legislation proposed by County Executive Steve Shue to reduce fees. And what do these fees do? Well, it's a lot cheaper now to adopt a pet from animal control. The fee for spay and neutering is completely eliminated, so being a responsible pet owner is now free.
Free!
The legislation also reduced the cost by half to register your dog. The council also approved eliminating a certificate of occupancy permit fee charged in the development process. Supporters said that the $15 fee was more of a nuisance than any real contribution to county costs. A certificate of occupancy is now issued at the very end of building a house, for example, and the process happens electronically. Here's what Shue had to say about the reductions.
We're going to continue to identify as many fees for reduction or elimination as we can over the next several months. So the three or four fees that have been dealt with so far have involved very significant reductions or eliminations altogether. The most important of them is the bill to cut the water and sewer connection fees by 30%. That's a $75 million cut in fees that will significantly add to our economy and create jobs. We've also reduced the fees that seniors have to pay to participate in various programs at our senior centers. We've reduced or eliminated various fees for spaying and neutering pets to promote better handling of pets and their care. So I think this effort is making a lot of progress, and I feel really good about the direction of it.
And when Kristin said the council was busy, she wasn't kidding.
I don't kid.
There's more.
There's more.
The council also approved Shue's proposal to speed up design of Crofton High School and George Cromwell Elementary School. Of particular interest to the folks in West County was the item for Crofton High School, a project that parents, students, and teachers have been wanting for decades. The council voted 6-1 to approve $500,000 for Crofton. The appropriation allows contractors to continue survey and planning work instead of waiting until the budget process concludes in June. Shue said he was grateful and a little bit surprised by the overwhelming support from the council.
I was very pleasantly surprised. That vote is a historic development, and I'm extremely pleased to have the support of the council, particularly after last year's effort. This year, it appears that all the councilmen are now supportive of the effort to build Crofton High School, so I do believe at long last we are on our way to having a Crofton High School. Another
step for Crofton High School, Kristin.
Woo-hoo!
I mean,
almost here.
Your Seahawks are about to get divided, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be better all around. I mean, I think that transportation-wise, I think that as far as having more teacher to student ratios be a little bit more equal, I think it's gonna be better.
Now, did you have this whole? I've heard about this in myth and legend and lore about when you're in middle school and the last day of middle school, they bring all the kids into the gymnasium and they say, "You're all going to South River and you're all going to Arundel." Did that happen to you? Or?
No, because that split wasn't around when I was a student graduating middle school.
So you knew you were going to be a Seahawk.
Oh yeah.
And all your friends were Seahawks.
Everybody in middle school. It wasn't until halfway through my high school career that Crofton kids started coming over.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm an old one.
Well, there's no crying in high school.
There's no crying in high school.
There will be no more crying after this whole thing is taken care of.
Right.
Hopefully, everyone will be happy.
And go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals. Release the Kraken.
I don't think they're going to do the Kraken, Dave. I'm just going to call that right now.
I think the Kraken is really cool.
Yeah, well, it does have a nice ring to it.
Kraken is scary.
Yeah, and speaking of having a nice ring to it, Dave, you know you and I are both fans of music.
Love music.
Very much so. Well, a local man has paired bluegrass jamming with help for our veterans. Neil Hamrick was treated to an outpouring of thanks from the community and elected officials recently for his work with Fisher House. Great organization.
Oh, you know Fisher House.
I've done stuff with Fisher House before.
Okay, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I was in a Rotaract organization a couple of years. Rotaract, it's a division of Rotary. It's for
Rotaract.
Rotaract. It's I think it's up to 30 years old. So it's a younger group that's still looking to make a difference in their community, but they're not eligible enough yet age-wise to be in Rotary. So
Interesting.
I was in Rotaract. I was president for a while.
You were the president
I was the president of Rotaract.
Whoa.
And we ended up having a concert where the proceeds benefited all these items that we bought for Fisher House. They always have a list of items they need donated. And it's just a great organization. And so myself and a couple of Rotaract members went to deliver these items, and they took us for a tour of the house. We met some of the folks that were staying there. It was just so wonderful.
So it's like is part of it like a convalescent home, or what do you call that when you're transitioning from, a veteran? Tell me what the house is.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of facilities on site that are there to help you with your treatment and training, so that you can start whatever disability you might have incurred, that you can start working your body again.
Okay.
Or if you're trying to learn to live with a new disability.
I see.
They have rooms available for, of course, the folks that need to stay there and their families. So it's really a lovely house with gardens and everything. Big kitchen, lots of snacks that are available all day round.
I'm surprised I haven't been there. I need to check it out.
You really should
Yeah.
go check it out. But
Sounds
it's
great.
really, really outstanding, and I commend the folks that are working at Fisher House. But this gentleman started a bluegrass marathon jam 6 years ago with a group of friends with the goal of raising $750. Well, they met that goal. Actually, they raised $80,000 that year,
Wow.
and the marathon jam has developed quite a huge following. So far, Hamrick and his friends have raised more than $150,000, Dave. Nancy Schrum joined several dignitaries in honoring Hamrick with a citation. You can watch a good chunk of the music here on Arundel TV, whether or on your local cable station, YouTube, or of course, Facebook. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
So Dave, do you think they'd let us join in on the Bluegrass Jam next year?
I think they would.
We could do that.
I mean, you don't have to be good, I don't think. It's like not a requirement. I'm
I
not
can play a
talking about you,
washboard.
I'm speaking for myself.
I could play a washboard.
You could do the washboard?
Yeah. I can sing.
You know, I don't know a lot of country songs. Like, I can't perform a lot of country songs. It's requires discipline in the picking, which the finger picking, which, I learned. I was self-taught, so I learned with tablature. So I never really picked up the good habits that you're supposed to learn to do that. But I think I could hang with them.
I think if you practice
I don't have
more.
a banjo. Do you have a banjo?
I don't have a
Can you
banjo
play a
or a
banjo?
mandolin.
Or a mandolin. Mandolin, is something worth maybe pursuing. It's fairly simple. I don't mean to speak
It's not
ill of.
simple.
It's not simple, but you could learn a couple chords
And
pretty
it's becoming
easily
more
on a mandolin.
common.
Yeah.
So you see mandolin a lot more now in music.
Coming
A lot of
soon,
pop
folks.
music.
Kristin Logano on mandolin.
Mandolin.
Maybe.
yes.
Ukulele, maybe?
Oh, I do like the ukulele.
There we go. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk to Lakeshia Brooks from Anne Arundel County Department of Social Services. Take a look at our community calendar for events happening around town, and we'll be right back.
If you store your guns properly,
So not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
Or scary news reports.
I won't have to hold someone's hand and shout you're gonna make it.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Please.
Please,
Please. Please.
Please.
do it for us.
For us. Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Well, welcome back. Delighted to have on the program with us this week Miss Lakeshia Brooks. You are the Customer Care Supervisor for Department of Social Services.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about your role there, how long you've been with the department.
Well, I've been with the department almost 6 years. I am now the Customer Care Supervisor in the Annapolis office. We deal with pretty much anything someone may have questions about, inquiries. You know, we do a little bit of everything. They call us the hub.
The hub.
So everything goes in, everything comes out.
A lot of responsibility. And one of the things that we're talking about this week that we wanted to focus on, particular to food stamps, we're talking about a deadline that's coming up at the end of March. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, so there's a new federal mandate that all able-bodied adults without dependent children, which otherwise is the acronym for ABOD, have to either be exempt, which I can go over those exemptions, or they have to be participating in a work program that equals about 20 hours a week, 80 hours a month.
Okay.
To receive their food benefits.
And we were talking about this a bit before briefly. It has to be by March 31st.
Yes, it's a crucial deadline. We just want to definitely make sure we have someone in an activity. If you're employed, we're logging your hours, and if you are exempt, we need to make sure that we have that information in the system so that you won't be affected possibly April 1st.
And then otherwise, it could take up until a month to reapply?
Yeah, or more, because you actually have to reapply and you have to prove that you have been participating in a work program for 30 days. So that alone may not start on the first day of your application. So it can be a process, and if not, 3 years, you wouldn't be able to receive them again for.
So just to back up for folks who don't understand these programs, so basically there's over 20,000 people in Anne Arundel County that receive food stamp benefits, correct? And most of those people have children, they're families with children. This is a subset of that group, a small group of about a little over 1,000 people, correct, that do not have children. And the new requirement is you have to be employed or you have to be looking for a job or enrolled in a job program to continue receiving the benefit.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's about 1,100 residents that are possible ABODs, again, able-bodied adults without dependents.
Is Kristin an ABOD?
Kristin may be an ABOD.
Good job, Kristin. You're an ABOD.
Well, Kristin necessarily would not be an ABOD because Kristin, I'm sure, works at least 20 hours. So she would be actually considered an ABOD meeting the work requirement.
I'm meeting because this is like around the clock job, reporting.
It is a very demanding job.
Getting the news, yes.
Absolutely. So walk us through what the exceptions are. So there's a new requirement that you have to be employed or you have to be in a job program unless what?
There are several exemptions. The first one is a big one, aged. So if you're under the age of 18 or you're 50 or older, you are exempt from
50,
the program.
okay.
Yes. Big number is 50, not 49 and a half, not 49. In 20 days, you have to be 50 by March 31st.
Okay.
The second would be, of course, if you're disabled.
Okay.
Then we could have, if you're a student, at least enrolled in an accredited program or facility, at least part-time. Mm-hmm. Then we also have the homeless population, and then there's also persons who are pregnant. So if you have any of those exemptions or would be possibly eligible for one of those exemptions, this could not possibly affect you come March 31st.
And if you are enrolled right now, you have already received a letter in the mail saying you need to do this. That doesn't mean everybody does it, right?
Correct. So we are sending out first, second warning notices, and then a final. So we are giving, yes, we are giving 3 letters in addition to the orientation letter that they have to meet with our vendor, which is the Anne Arundel County Workforce Development. AAWDC is what their acronym is.
And they have a new website. It's really good. Check it out.
So if anyone out there is thinking, this might be affecting me, I didn't get those notices, or, oh, that's what that was, how should they reach out to you?
They can give us a call. The customer care number for the Annapolis office is 410-269-4589, or we can also be reached at the Glen Burnie office, which is 410-421-8539. Again, we may have new applicants or people that need to submit information online. You can Google My DHR and we're the first link.
Oh, nice.
Now, should we just tell people if they have any questions about anything, they should just call you, right? Because you know the answer to everything.
Absolutely. All inquiries may go to the customer care of your local department. So if you're a Glen Burnie resident, you need to contact the Glen Burnie office. And for our Anne Arundel or South County residents, they can contact the Annapolis office.
And again, this is March 31st.
March 31st.
There's
the
no
day.
wait.
Don't forget, don't wait.
Don't wait.
Do it
now.
Do it
now. Lakeshia, thank you so much for joining us this week.
you.
We're so happy to have you. We'll be right back with more Week in Review right after this. Don't go anywhere.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full. Keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Welcome back. We've told you a lot about our efforts to end the stigma of heroin addiction and get help for people in the community. Well, Not My Child is taking its show on the road to speak directly with students and parents. Our own Sara Gannon is at Northeast High School with Mandy Larkin from Pathways. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. Today we're here at Northeast High School, and I'm here with Mandy Larkin from Pathways. And I'm going to ask her a little bit about the Not My Child program that's coming up on April 20th. Hi, Mandy. Thank you for meeting with me today. Can you tell us about the program, the Not My Child program, that's going to be taking place at Northeast on April 20th?
Sure, thanks for having me, Sarah. So Not My Child is a panel event that discusses the heroin epidemic and addiction. There will be panelists from across the county to come and provide information that we certainly need to know, especially in this area as we are dealing with this terrible epidemic. Folks from crisis response, the police department, I myself will be on the panel to discuss prevention and the role of parents in the community and prevention, as well as we will have some parents of teenagers who have fallen under the spell of addiction to heroin. The event's going to be here at Northeast at 6:15 on April the 20th, and it's for all of the clusters, so elementary schools, middle school that feeds George Fox, and really opens the community of Pasadena as we battle this together.
And I know you're a Pasadena native, I guess you could say, as I am. So this is near and dear to our hearts to bring the awareness to the community and surrounding communities. And it's not just about the high school children, it's also the elementary and middle school to get them involved, and the parents, the awareness. Can you also tell me what does Pathways do, if you don't mind?
Sure. So Pathways is a treatment center for teens and adults for inpatient and outpatient substance abuse treatment and co-occurring disorders treatment. We are one of 2 facilities in Maryland that treat teenagers for the disease of addiction, and it's really devastating to see our patients having to deal with this very problematic disease that's lifelong. You know, like you said, I actually graduated from Northeast, so I have a lot of ties to the Pasadena area, and you know, it's just devastating to think about how many young people are falling under this trap. And yes, we have to start it early. We have to start talking to our youngsters in elementary school, finding those teachable moments about, you know, medication, and only mom or daddy give you medication, only the doctor gives you medication. We have to start having these conversations, as well as reduce the stigma for treatment. So if somebody does present with, I think I'm addicted to my pain medicine, or I think I'm addicted to marijuana, or I think I'm an alcoholic, you know, we can't just say, well, stop. These folks need help and they need treatment, and that's what we're all coming together to talk about and to provide the resources that our folks need.
Mandy, can you tell me how vendors and counselors can get involved?
Sure. So the evening of the event, we are inviting vendors and any mental health providers to attend, as well as anyone that has any prevention information, any coalitions against substance abuse will be here. So, please, if you would like to get involved, please feel free to contact Sara or to contact Jackie Dunn at Northeast High School to let her know that you would like to be a resource table that night. It's really important for our folks in this area to know the resources that are available to them when they are dealing with a substance abuse or mental health crisis. So we are very fortunate to be able to have those folks here.
Great. And Mandy, can you also tell TV Land, I guess you could say, a little bit about the SAD program or the chapter?
Sure. So Northeast has a very dedicated SAD chapter, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions, who will be a major part of this event. During the day, we are actually going to do an assembly for the students, and SAD is going to be facilitating that and helping their friends and colleagues understand the dangers for them and understand what's going on so that they can hopefully keep themselves healthy as well as they will be a part of the evening event, because we do have a lot of kids who are making really great choices, and we want to celebrate them and we want to have them there to influence their peers in order to do that as well.
Okay. Great. Thank you for your time and all that you do in the county. I have to say, everywhere I go, I think she's there too. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sara. I'm sure that will be another great event, and another presentation will happen at Chesapeake High School on April 28th. So contact Sara if you have any questions. She's at 410-222-1821.
So happy St. Patrick's 2 weeks.
Eve? I don't know, what is it?
It's now
so
the latest holiday that has become
like a month.
Forever.
Every week is just St. Patrick's Day.
Could it be the drinking that has something?
Yeah, it might be.
It might have something to do with the drinking.
Eating's pretty great. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving well, actually, now we have Friendsgivings and stuff, so.
Are you kidding?
Christmas is like a month long. Yeah, so, but St. Patty's Day really is like ridiculous. I love it, don't get me wrong, but we're doing it every weekend in March.
And a quick programming note that unfortunately,
oh yes,
Miss
so
Lagana
sorry.
was not able to play the
If
Annapolis
by chance
Irish.
you came out to the parade just to see my band play, I am so sorry. I'm sure you didn't. But
they couldn't fit Kristin's head. I mean, the band on the float, so
right.
it couldn't go
No,
off.
it was smaller of a trailer than we expected, so it wasn't able to go off without a hitch.
It did go off. It did have hitches, and it was great.
It was a great parade.
It wasn't as good without you guys, but it still went off very well.
Wonderful parade. They do such a wonderful job with the parade every year, and it's always fun to see everyone out and about in the streets.
So like other holidays, will you be working on these holidays, or will you be enjoying on these holidays? Now it's such a long period. You can have a date where you can do something fun.
I'm definitely not taking off to go celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but I am excited because Thursday nights we have family dinner. So I'm like, okay, if this falls on a Thursday this year.
Oh, the Laganas are going to be set loose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lock your doors in Annapolis on Thursday.
That's right.
Wow.
Guinness this out.
Well, maybe I'll see you there, because I think I'm going to go out after work yeah. I'm going to have a very tame, Thursday, because driving and all that.
Absolutely. But I have to get some of my corned beef.
But I might do something over the weekend. I haven't decided, because there's so much.
There's so many things to do.
It's like every day. You don't know what day you're supposed to do.
Crawls.
And the Baltimore City parade is on Sunday.
Right.
So I might do that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So you're going to do a Lagana family outing?
Probably. So I'm telling you, there's no one I'd rather spend St. Patty's Day with than my parents. They are party animals.
I'm sure they are. And are you doing any gigs? Are you working for
I've got gigs.
Thanksgiving? Now I have Thanksgiving on
St. Patty's Day. I've got gigs every Saturday night this month. So,
woo.
Yeah.
Well, you're just going to have to go to KristinLagana.com to find out all the
There's no
exact dates.
KristinLagana.com.
Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archived episodes online anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or Google+. It's still there, Kristin. Searching Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we'll see you next time.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.